Hello and welcome to another episode of The Ramblings of a Dead Madman. This is episode 15, and it's a continuation of an email about Criss Angel and his performance. Not possible again, here's why. To start with, the coffin that his phantom double was encased in, carried and buried in the snow, is also part of the phantom illusion, making it most complete and otherwise irrevocable. Next time it's on TV, just film it so you can view it at your own perceptive time. Simple logic will prevail and you will realize 'twas just a joke, simply for entertainment. The first problem you may question is how come the snow on top of his casket collapsed so perfectly even throughout, just as if there was nothing there to start with. The only thing real was the camera, which was not recovered during filming. He's not happy with just fame. He wants to be the next Jesus Christ. Perhaps you don't believe me. Try again. Look at his clothes. Practically all of them have some type of a cross or crosses on them. This is not accidental. Try listening to him. He's always taking off his performances as miracles. He's obviously obsessed with this one trick his mother taught him, and has in fact earned him a luxurious lifestyle, and of course now a powerful position with the CIA, even though it was forced on him for a limited time. Perhaps you even saw the show where he is supposedly completely engulfed in flame. Not to be again. This was one of his most obvious frauds. Of course he was just the one to put out the flame on his phantom double, and emerged the victorious. You really need to film this one and play it over and over again till you understand it. 'Twill be most rewarding. Criss often says some of his performances are transpositions. Well, I just have not seen any yet. Because if he had performed even one transposition, he would have been aware of yet another more awesome ability. And this is most obvious, because his incredible ego would not let it go by without demonstrating this in a smashing performance, or many performances. What about the performances where he throws something off the roof of his hotel, and is supposedly accompanied by many of the audience, then catches it at the bottom? The answer is all of those that went up to the roof of the hotel were just temporary phantoms, just for that act. Just as his phantom double on the roof, because Criss actually never left the main floor and in fact just made the catching act. Probably 98% of people are not able to comprehend this information simply because it is not talked about normally. They prefer to keep in the realm of fantasy. So if you can't grasp it, I'll understand. I would not normally expose such incredible performances, except that he is really making me angry. Email to neighbor Criss Angel. I am writing you firstly because I'm thinking that making that betraying Johnny jealous by putting him second place, he's sensitive that way, because he hasn't written me lately. You probably know by now I've moved. Things just don't seem to change much around here. I truly didn't know I looked so fierce, because last night it actually took 4 specially trained CSIS's agents to intimidate me at the bar. After through with harassing me earlier, you saw me with my new hairy face. What do you think? Perhaps it's the extra long mustache. Can you believe it? A tired 58-year-old retired guy that is about 2 steps from the boneyard, who doesn't interfere with others, but is constantly hunted by these damn agents who don't seem to have much else to do with their expensive time. Our poor suffocated CSIS situation. Makes sense though, because the CIA has been technically and factually in full control of CSIS shortly after 9/11, because the Prime Minister was told by the President that in fact CSIS needed to be trained and led by the CIA. Scary to find out that Canada is really run by the CIA. You might as well know that the CIA have in fact bestowed the title of the world's top spy on me some 6 years ago, recorded on CNN. This is at least 2 years before I dissected the truth about 9/11 and corrected all the information as to the complete perfect plan. This has been verified by our very own Navy some Friday night a couple months back, because after just 3 days they let me know with a flyby by the bluebirds or snowbirds, can't remember which, Just as I left Tim's, they dropped to near ground level and laid a smoke patch for about 2 to 3 miles. 'Twas quite a sight. They tear through the sky like a diamond in such tight formation. Yeah, I had a short chat with them at the bar. But at first I thought they were RCMPs, but later on I noticed that in fact their buddies didn't fit that membership. Navy intelligence. Shortly after I complained to the FBI about not getting paid for finding the snipers for them, the exact date is in the 3 emails within. Anyhow, I really tried not to come to this conclusion, but after many years of studying the CIA, I'll tell you what I found. In trying to control the world, the CIA have become experts at many fields of endeavor, and one of them is to derail trains of which they are actually responsible for, 9 out of 10, worldwide. To start with, let me bring your memory back to a derailment with their dearest and closest ally and friend at heart. For the fanciest derailment of all times, as far as I can remember, is the one in England a few years ago, right after they threatened to pull out of Iraq. This train, I believe, was the latest, greatest super-duper sonic speedo on the planet. They have this strike down to a fine art with technique. Even the bestest of friends need direction. My 3 emails within were read by 3/4 of all UK university professors and all their parliament. Now you know why Blair's predicament. They have also demonstrated this technique here in Canada many times, but I believe at the same time they were stabbing themselves, because I think that the Canadian trains are in fact owned by American companies for the past several years at least. It has become absolutely clear that CSIS and the CIA, of which I thought and in view they seem to be working together, but understandably the reality is CSIS has a big grudge on them and are using me to even the score. They even seem to take a twisted pleasure in knowing so. Anyhow, the loss of 800 units didn't seem to have even been noticed by them. I guess when you think of the other 13 million empty ones, this does not even begin to register. A few weeks ago they did, however, collapse a Chinese subway anew. Makes one wonder, is this the recourse for not being allowed to park their aircraft carriers in the summer? Or maybe it was the interest owing on the non-existent trillions loan they have with the Chinese. Most recently, though, it seems they have indeed succeeded in planting the seed for starting a war on the 2 fronts at the same time. The Jews and Pax via third-party, jolly clever CIA, it seems. 'Twill take a few days yet for the outcome. Being a political scientist, 'twould be nice to get your view on some of this email.